Oh,
I work for me, so I can say whatever the fuck I want to.
all right. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Look at this. We got an echo already.
Nice.
I'll fix it though. Let's see.
Little technical difficulties.
Ain't nothing but a thing. All right, that probably fixed it right there. So, anyways, welcome back to Fouled Out, powered by Precision Suspension. Got myself, Bell Jr. here, and Chad. I mean, you look a little different.
I did. I feel different. I don't quite. I feel. I wish I looked as good as Chad, but I don't. So, but I will. I will gladly harbor this seat tonight.
No doubt.
Man, we've had a lot of stuff that's going on. It's been a way. I had to go to Disney. My stress levels went through the roof, you know, but I made it through. Got back, got some racing in, had good old days of dirt.
Yeah.
Man, there's a lot of stuff that's been going on.
Oh, yeah. House full of dogs.
Yeah. So, hey to everybody out there. Hey, Mr. Wheeler. Man, I tell you what, every time I see Mr. Wheeler, we were just talking about it before the show started, how no matter what, every time you're at a racetrack, it don't matter if you're at Rockfish, Fayette, you'll see Mr. Wheeler out there.
If you let him know you're going, he's going to be there.
That's
I
right.
can promise you, if we're going to be there, he's going to be there for sure.
I know Amanda, she says he stops her every morning at the drop-off line at Riverside, and she's like, he's asking, are you going to race this weekend? Is AJ racing? So,
Yeah, no doubt. He definitely fell in love with it. He's a good guy, too.
yeah, absolutely. But I guess we'll dive on into the show. Y'all make sure to go give Precision Suspension, my buddy Sammy Speaks, a like on his Facebook page. And if you need any kind of suspension work done, shocks, pull down rig, data acquisition, anything like that, go check him out. He pulled his car out for the first time a couple weeks ago at Friendship, and they won with Jeff Parsons driving. I finished third. So I was pretty close, but I just didn't have enough for him and Chris Joyce. And then I think they went back maybe 2 weeks after that, and I think they finished second. So y'all go give him a shout out on the Facebook page, Precision Suspension, or give them a call if you need anything. Rooster, I know you got some exciting things coming up, man. First of all, tell us about a good old Days of Dirt.
Oh, man, we had a wonderful time last Sunday. You know, we put in a lot of work into it. I feel these legends, the drivers who have paved the way for racing today, those names tend to get forgotten. And and the committee comes together, and not just the committee, but the showing of folks, man. Everybody showed up and showed out. What'd you say, Bill? Probably 300 plus.
At least
300 plus people there Sunday. And, you know, we did the Fayetteville Cumberland Stock Car Racing Hall of Fame. Mama Swan is our head chair over that. And, you know, it was just an amazing day just to see the drivers and pit crew members and folks who come out. Steve Odom was there, you know, and I always love seeing Steve and
Jimmy Ray.
Jimmy Ray was there. The Blackwell crew, the whole Blackwell crew was there.
Family.
And I'm gonna tell you what, Keith Smith was there, and I got hooked up, man. I've got I bought every program from 1982 to like 2000.
Dude,
every year.
We got invited to go to Keith Smith's house, me and Felicia and Dad. And we sat in there for about 3 hours and didn't even get through an eighth of what he's got. I mean, and the thing about it is you can say, so my dad drove number 28, and he drove it in 1984. He can tell you what negative it's on.
Yeah.
Literally. It's
Absolutely.
He shot
unbelievable.
film.
His file that he's got. And man, it goes all the way back, you know. And so, and Keith, you know, Keith being there and just so many awesome people, man. Seeing Danny Parker get put into the Hall of Fame.
That was emotional for a lot of people.
It
man.
was. And Archie Adams, you know, Archie 81 still racing today. And, I mean, you go back to Pete Fan, the most famous flagman that ever walked through Fayetteville Motor Speedway. There's so much history that, you know, it tend to get lost if we don't keep up with it. So
Because I mean, I was out there, and of course, I know, you know, I found pictures. You should see the picture I got, but it's got Bell when Dad won one, and Bell's sitting there. But I swear, man,
Hey, I was the original guy with Chubby's on.
Yeah. You actually bought me a picture.
Yeah.
Man. I appreciate it. Had Joe in there, and I don't think Joe Swan has aged in 40 years.
no, he looks the exact same. That's what the living right will do for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess, yeah, because damn if we ain't.
That ain't lying.
Yeah, I know. I'm over here with bags in my eyes. I'm like, could I get some makeup in this bitch?
I know you got a lot more stuff other than that, and you know the big turnout. And and before we get off of that, tell us about the inductees that you had into the Hall of Fame, and tell us a little bit more about the Hall of Fame and how that came about, who got inducted into it, and all that stuff.
So it was 2019. My dad and I, you know, we started Good Old Days of Dirt, Dad and I, back in 2018,
Right.
and it was an idea. Kind of both of ours to try to get the racing community to come together for a day of picnic. Man, we had so much food, Jesus Christ. But everybody brings a covered dish, everybody brings a lawn chair, and you just kind of sit down and chill out. And it's one of those days of, you know, I haven't seen you in 30 years, Bo. You know what I'm saying? These same guys that raced against each other 40 years ago trying to take each other out are arm in arm taking pictures.
Yep.
That's right.
That speaks meaning because, you know, if I hadn't saw you in 40 years, me and you were good friends, but life just took us apart. This is a day that brings us back together.
Absolutely.
And then, you know, me and Dad got to talking a little bit further, and I said, I've never heard of a Hall of Fame. So what about, you know, these guys, Mr. Edwards, that deserves to be in NASCAR Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then you got names like that are already in, like Chubby Tompkins. Chubby was a huge part of Fayetteville Motor Speedway.
Absolutely.
Won so many races, and Timmy Blackwell sit here the other night and was talking about Mike Parker. Man, Mike don't ever have to win another race. He's already proved himself. You know what I'm saying? And but people tend to forget about those guys. Mike was out at the Carolina Clash last year, you know, and him and Jimmy Ray out there running side by side together. You know, they were in the back, and everybody's like, "Who are those guys, dude?" You pay respect to them guys, because you don't even realize what they've done to get to today.
Yeah.
They are,
What they've done for racing, period.
yeah.
Here in this area.
Yep. So we were like, let's get a Hall of Fame going. And as we got the Hall of Fame started and got our first inductees, we found out that Larry Long had started a Fayetteville Hall of Fame.
Oh, okay.
Didn't know nothing about it. You know, could not find anything about it, and somebody was telling us about it. And you know, so we're trying to work now. We got a meeting on Sunday to try to incorporate those guys who are already put in a Hall of Fame from Larry and Fastlane and stuff like that,
this.
and let's just go ahead and bring them in instead of having to renominate
Right.
and everything like that.
Yeah.
Nominations have been, we had a buku of nominations because COVID put us on a seatbelt for the past 2 years. And, all the nominations that come in, and then the committee come together on, what had been brought in and this, that, and the other. And so now for 2023, because we're still inducting, we're going to put 6 in next year again. Then we'll get back to the 3. Right. You can nominate by going to goodolddaysofdirt@yahoo.com and nominate that way. Or you can do a written nomination, mail it to me at 3837 Williford Street, Eastover, North Carolina. You can do it that way too. Also, you can send us a message through Fayetteville Cumberland Stock Car Racing Hall of Fame Facebook page if you'd like to make a nomination. So that's just a couple ways. There's so many deserving drivers, because I had somebody ask me this weekend, why isn't Porky in that thing?
You got
Who pick? And it was like, well, who picks who goes in? And I'm like, it's not kind of a pick thing. It's a nomination. The nomination is brought to the table. And, I mean, it's a whole process, because we have a diverse age group on the board. Rodney Ward, my daddy, Caroline Devon Hare, Felicia. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we have a diverse, Dad's 173 years old. I'm 40-something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So it passes through everything of why is this person deserving? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's who the nominations come in. There's so many.
Oh man, there's so many people that, I mean, for one, obviously, it's like Scott Autry.
Yes.
Jeffrey Tyndall. I mean, these are names that are just popping up. But so many
Dwayne
people.
Parker.
Yeah.
Dwayne Parker.
And congratulations to Mr. Tyndall, too, because he made it into Carolina Clash Hall of Fame just past year.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. He did.
I mean, but there's so many, because when I was looking through those programs that I got, I was just, I sat there and I thumbed through every single one. And I was like, man, I remember that car. Oh, gosh, I forgot all about them, or I forgot all about this. And then just to see the way that late models changed, from the 80s all the way up to what they're at today. And then, because 6-cylinder used to be, that was a big deal back then.
Yeah.
And like during our days, even y'all's, I'm older than y'all, but even y'all's days, I mean, your Ellis Wards, your Danny Parkers, your Dwayne Parkers, your Porky Edwards, your Hank Edwards.
Wayne Parker just had Paul Green in mini stock, Mike Parker in mini stock, Timmy Neighbors was untouchable in mini stock. That Toyota was bad, son. That MJ Pinto was off the chain.
Oh yeah, Moped and John.
You know what I'm saying? There's so much.
Scott Autry was bad in a mini stock.
Well, I mean, and
you know what his first number was?
He won 12. He run 12.
Yeah.
Because that's what we run go-kart racing too.
Yeah.
I think old Tojo got shocked on that.
Yeah,
that one.
and that car was built out of Mike and John's speed shop over at Moped's house.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There's a picture. Matter of fact, there's pictures of that when he ran that in those programs and stuff. Right. But I mean, even things like I was seeing advertisements. Obviously, there was a lot of Pizza Hut advertisements in there because you had Clyde Keller. With Pizza Hut, and I was like, man, I forgot all. Even though it's just they ring a bell, and you're like, oh man.
Back then, it was Clyde Keller with Pizza Hut, John Atkins with Crown Video.
Yep.
Pat Purvis with Patrick Ford.
Yep.
I mean, those were the main guys out there. Then, of course, always Bobby Taylor Oil Company.
He's been there since day one.
Yep. David's still he's in a lot of them programs.
I seen David in Deep Creek this past week. And he told me he's been racing since 1978.
Yeah.
I was born in 1971, by the way.
Yeah. You know what? You know what's awesome though is because we relive those days: wall ball, cup ball. You know what I'm saying? Seeing Marion foot races and the yellow lights at the concession stand and Coca-Cola in cups and all that. That was our day. So I look upon now, because I'm a huge advocate of these juniors in racing, and I look at the Blackwells. I'm a big Blackwell fan, always have been. So Timmy race, Chris race, Zach's racing. Now they got Clay and Chase racing. You know what and then you got the Johnsons have come together with the Blackwells, and it's amazing how all this, stays going. So I believe all those names from the past deserve to stay alive.
Yeah.
And that's what basically all this is about. And kind of what you asked me earlier, I kept going into detail on the other, but so Marty Webb is our master of ceremonies. And if you've been around racing and don't know Marty Webb, you need to look this man up, because he is a walking gold mine, like Thomas Pope.
Exactly. Yeah.
Keith Smith. We lost Larry, but those guys are historians from racing. I mean, he even got down to telling us about Archie Adams and them guys coming out of 3, and one guy went up on the wall and hit the flag stand, and the whole damn flag stand fell in the middle of the racetrack. And all those stories.
I hate to keep bringing up the programs, but that they were posting like some newspaper clippings and stuff, and that's back when, it was big. It was big time to get in the newspaper. I don't know anybody that actually reads the newspaper nowadays. Everybody's on their damn phones and stuff. But I remember even probably in the late 90s, early 2000s, like I would always look at the sports section because Thomas Pope would always probably have something on that very last page of the paper, the sports section of what happened at Fayetteville Motor Speedway.
Yeah.
And man, it was just good times. I hate that it's kind of going away from that, but
they are trackside photography. I've been working real close with those girls, and we've got a little meeting. I've gave them some of Keith's books and stuff, and they're going to, because Rockfish is their main track out at Bill W.'s place, and they've been out taking pictures at Fayetteville and stuff like that too, but they're trying to put something together at a reasonable price because it's unbelievable what the pricing of stuff's going to nowadays. And they asked me, they were like, what would somebody pay for one of these books? And I said, no more than $10. You know what I'm saying? You can go get a magazine for $4.95.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't going to pay more than $10 for it. But Keith didn't realize what he was doing back then. But now, them things are gold, bro.
Oh, yeah. That's why I went ahead straight there and bought one, of every year. I was like, if they're here, I'm going to buy them. That way I've got them. Just like doors, like the door hanging up behind you or whatever. If you go to my storage room, anybody has a door and they're going to throw it away or something, I'll take it. Well, I just put it in my storage room.
You put yours up for auction. I bought it for $125. And you're like, why in the world are you paying for my door? I said, because Blaze is going to grow up. Or Axel or the new baby. What's the new baby's name? I feel bad. Avon. Yeah. Going to grow up. And they're going to be looking for this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I found your dad's cage in the woods the other day.
I thought that thing was gone, man. I thought that thing had melted down to rust and just.
Camaro?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's over there, Alan Kors.
It's got an ignition. I was like, hey, Aubrey, where the key at? We're going to fire this bitch up.
Yeah. That car was ahead of its time right there in the division that it run in.
I'm going to take the stuff the welding that you showed on that video.
Yeah. I'd probably retack that thing. I'd probably run me a little cake batter JB Weld around that baby just in case. You know what I mean? But with Marty coming in and talking as our master of ceremonies, Marty is he's very to the point of what he talks about, and it's amazing to listen to. And he stated that he's got non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and he had to have a blood transfusion last Thursday, and he called down there, or his doc called over to Cape Fear Valley Blood Donor Center and was able to get him the red blood cells that he needed, and he was able to be there on Sunday. So his wish was for the racing community to come together and give the gift of life. Well, when he said that, my tires about spun slam off the rim.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, you know what? Marty is a huge part of this racing community, has been forever, and has done a lot for a lot of people. Now it's time for us to turn around and do something for him. So immediately I got in contact Monday with the Cape Fear Blood Donor Center, and we sparked the Race for Hope, which will be June 3rd. We're going to have some race cars out there come out. We're trying to get a radio station to come down. If you come out on Friday and donate blood from 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock, you're going to get a free ticket to get into Rockfish Speedway Saturday. Bill W. stepped up and, helping out big time in this. And so you get a free ticket to go to the race on Saturday at Rockfish. The blood bus is going to be at Rockfish Saturday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. So you've got the opportunity. We kind of juggled that because drivers really don't need to give blood on Saturday and then get hop in a race car. So we kind of offered that Friday, as a 2-day event. Yeah. And I know we're going to have our car down there. I think Fireball's going to bring his Bandolera, and we're trying to work on a couple different others and just pump it up, make it that whole racing community feeling thing, because we are all in it together, man. It doesn't matter if you're making brownies to bring out there like your mom. Dude, my son and your mom loves my son to death. Rhett was cold the other night, and he got up there and racing Granny's sweater, and she wrapped him up,
yeah.
and then he loves him some Uncle Tojo, and you know what I'm saying. He sits right there with Jeffrey
I bet
Kendall.
Racing Granny was loving that.
Oh, she'll tell you too. That's my baby right there. And
yeah.
so this whole racing community, man, it's more than being in a race car. It's family.
Oh, it is. There's no doubt about that. And like I said, we're gonna have our ups and downs on the racetrack. Get mad, might fight, whatever. But at the end of the day, we all one big family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's one thing I can't say about it is no matter what, it always if you get into it with someone at the racetrack the next week, if you need something, they're more likely they'll give it to you.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know. So well, that's awesome, man. Make sure you get me that information so that I can share it to my racing page. You know, everything like that.
I put out. I've actually got and I'll get it to you. But we're actually doing, and I want to invite drivers to do this. And I'm going to read it off of this thing that I got right here, so that way I can make sure I get it correct. But we're asking drivers to make a video, a quick video. Just come on and say, put your racing suit on or grab your helmet. Hello, and I'm going to do it as me or as Wyatt. Hello, my name's Wyatt Kitchen. I'm the driver of the Old South Apparel Junior Micro Sprint. I'm asking you to join in the Race for Hope, June 3rd at Cape Fear Valley Blood Donor Center. Stop by and donate blood in honor of my friend Marty Webb. And if everybody could just make one and get it out, and let's get it out as much as we possibly can, man. I think, just show him that the racing community is right there for him, and Rana, and everybody. You know what I'm saying? The cancer's nasty, Bo.
Absolutely.
But...
Well, we'll definitely do it, man. We hope you can hang out with us for a little bit longer here on the show, man.
Wyatt's working, so he's down there at the concession stand right now working at the ballpark. And,
he takes after Dad. He's always after you.
Hey, you know what he told me? He said, I don't mind working at all. They give me hot dogs.
And I saw someone earlier posted on here that said, where is the Hall of Fame? And currently, it's at the VIP Tower in Fayetteville Motor Speedway. And I guess if there's anybody out there that have something they want to donate to put on display there, it is, I'm assuming, on loan.
Yeah, they can have it back.
Yeah, so you're not giving it, but you're putting it on loan. Just get up with Rooster and them, and we can get that in there and all that. But I'm glad that y'all are doing that, man.
Yes. Hey, Ricky Horn put up a good name there too. Them Lester boys was something else.
Oh yeah.
Marvin Lester.
Yeah, if you wanted to see a good fight, just go out there and watch Steve and the Lester boys.
Bobby Zimmerman, David Atkins, Strolling, Rolling. I was scared to death of that cat. Huh?
Sullivan brothers, Brian and Ricky.
A whole group of them.
And speaking of, so I see James Johnson was on here. He was if I'm not. That was him.
He was our VIP
winner, and he came down and hung out with us in the pits, before the race, and
him and his wife,
Roxanne. Yeah,
super, super, super good people, man.
Really?
Love racing. He just said he'd never got to witness it from that side, and so he got to stand down in Victory Lane with Kip. Kip cooked for him, fed him, and he come up, hung out at our trailers before Kip got there. And he was ecstatic, man. He was just like, this is cool.
Yeah, and it was awesome too, because after I got done qualifying, we obviously, you stop down in there and you're waiting for everybody else to finish their qualifying and stuff. But he was down there, so we got to kind of hang out, while everybody, because I was one of the first ones out to qualify, and watch our whole group and kind of talk with him about it a little bit. And I showed him my he thought we were on Race Monitor. He said it's not coming up. I said, well, they're on My Race Pass. So it was really good to hang out with him, and
and he's a big Dustin Mitchell fan.
Yeah.
So he skipped Dustin racing at Lakeview to get the VIP experience.
Oh, that's cool.
We're going to try to make that thing not necessarily a weekly thing,
right?
But we're going to try to make it on some of the big events to where we'll either sponsor it through Fouled Out. Wayne Gray stepped up and said he'll sponsor. Of course, Kip with Chat Lee.
Yeah, I'd be more than happy to fall in. Don't think I won't roll that old South trailer down there and put the grill out. Remember that day we cooked for you guys?
Oh,
in
yeah,
Lakeview?
yeah, Lakeview.
God, the best port loin I ever had in my life. I had a little bit too much to drink, and I was standing there with a strawberry margarita. I don't even know where I got it from, but while I was cooking my pork tenderloin, I was standing there talking to Kyle Jinks' mom, and I was pouring the strawberry margarita inside the tin foil where the pork loin was. So I was
A
like,
little flavor.
we just wrapped this baby up. Something, hey,
I ain't even
pull
gonna
it
talk about the last time you cooked for me at the racetrack.
pull it apart with a fork, babe.
You know, we had fun, and the food
Oh,
was
we
good.
did have fun that night. I tried to take old boy on the golf cart for $1,000, but he wouldn't do it. And I told him, I said, I can promise you something. We come out of 4 and you ahead of me, I'll junk your shit before you get across that line
In the golf course.
in the golf cart.
Man. Well, speaking of some of the, you got some of the winners or people that finished at Fayetteville this past weekend at that Mideast Triple Crown race.
Yeah, Dave and the Mideast Series put on the Triple Crown of racing, and you had your street stocks winner was Mitchell Duvall in the car number 18. I don't know that he's ever won at Fayetteville. If he has, I'm not sure of it, but I know he got a win there that night in the 602 late models. The 18 car again, Preston Blaylock.
Yep.
Open wheels, I think Trey Stamper held off Eric Bentley in the open wheel race. And the driver, the number 20 in open wheels, and then probably the best race of the night to me was the Legends A feature.
Really?
I mean,
see, I was sitting in the car. I didn't get to see it.
You had 6 guys out there, easy 6 out of the 16 or 18 that started that had a chance to win the race. We had a little bit of bad luck. We got into, I think, the 81. We thought Jaden had got into him a little bit, but it was a racing deal. I mean, they were all racing for position. It wasn't like nobody done it on purpose. And then, of course, Jaden got in that bad wreck.
Yeah.
But he was good after that. And the little guy, man, I don't know the little guy's name in the B feature.
Oh, yeah, man. He went for a hell of a ride, man.
That was probably one of the worst wrecks I've seen at Fayetteville Speedway in all my years there. But in that A feature Legends race, man, Eddie Daniels in the 61, you can say whatever you want to about him. You can feel whatever you want to about him, but the boy can wheel a race car.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. There's no doubt about that.
And when his head's straight,
yeah,
he can wheel it as good as anybody that gets under the seat.
Yeah, he can. I'll definitely vouch for that. I mean, he's a driver.
He is, and that, like I said, it won't easy, man. Him, Shabron, Jaden, Chad, Tony Porter, Josh Shanoski, Tristan Stevenson. They were just battling, man. I really, really, don't get me wrong, I hated to see Jaden wreck, but I hated that he collected Tristan.
Right.
Because Tristan's a good little driver, man. He drives everybody clean and does what he's supposed to do to try to win races. But then in that B feature, man, which was a cool deal that Dave and them come up with, and if you watch that B feature, I think you got exactly what Dave was looking for when he decided to do that. Once the racing got spread out, those guys that's new to the class and not really drove those cars a lot, they got to put in some good laps, man.
Yeah, some good seat time.
And they were getting it.
Yeah, because we were out there watching it. They had a good little battle going.
They had a great little battle going. And then Greg Doyle just stayed in the 11G. He just stayed consistent, man, and got him a little lead and then slowed down like a veteran.
Yeah.
Slowed down and paced himself and won that thing. Like I said, you can't say enough about that. Like I said, it was a great idea for them to split that class.
Yep.
You don't want to never say, well, there's just too many cars there.
Yeah.
But the difference with that class is you got a lot of people that's stepping into those cars.
Yeah.
And too many people that sat in those cars has told me those are the hardest cars they've ever drove.
They are. They're definitely. I mean, I've got experience because I've actually drove them, but the power to weight ratio in them things and the tires, obviously you can't do anything with them.
Right.
And I was actually lucky because back when I was racing them, we had the wider tires. We were able to run the wider ones. Now I'm sure there's a handful out there with less tire on the ground. I can only imagine.
And before we go any further, I want to give a little shout out to Willie Reinheimer at 316. He's our part supplier for our class. And looks out for everybody. He had a little surgery, and he's on the recoup over there at home now. Like I said, he had our stuff fast, man, and I think we really had a good shot. If we didn't, we just had some bad luck. Chad got a flat tire, and which we should have had a tire in the pits to change the tire.
Right. Yeah, we're bad for that. We're bad for never taking a spare down there because I guess, being that Dad, he wants to run for the points this year, we should be taking one down there because you got to get every point that you can get,
100%.
But I've always like, man, with the amount of cars that we usually have in our class, which y'all got the same amount. I mean, y'all got the most of any class.
30, I think we had 30 or 32.
I'm just like, I'm like, if I go that far back, I'm not even tearing my stuff up coming back through there. I'm like, we'll just pull it in and leave it. But I need to start taking a tire down there. But it looks like you might have you a backup driver. Tojo said he'd love to try the G1.
Yeah, I'll pass.
Hey, we're going to try to put Tojo.
What do you think, Rooster? Don't you think Tojo can wheel it?
Hey,
I think if you give Tojo about 7 snappers,
Oh, yeah.
he'll bring that summons
so,
to the
so let me
front
say this right here.
in a minute.
So you remember when they had the Enduro race for the Racing for Heroes?
Yeah.
Well, of course, me and Chad was in it. Jerry Johnson actually won it. Chad had a flat and put me like 5 laps down. And when I took over and I drove it back to second place. So that means me and Jerry had to lap the cars that was in front of me at least 5 times because I was 5 laps down in the second segment. And so I gave Tojo that car and told him, I said, go race that thing. And David Souls gave it to us. We took it out of the junkyard on Thursday and raced it on Saturday.
I remember that.
Yeah.
And,
I remember.
In fact, Wayne Jr. had the modified that he turned over and tore all the pieces. We went over there and took a saw and cut enough of the roll cage out where Dave would say we had a roll cage in the car and welded it to the floor. And had that thing, we had it on a forklift, lifted up so we could take wires off of it and everything else. His Uncle Terry took about 3 hours because I cut the anti-theft wires.
Wait a minute. Now, did you see Rooster's video about the welding that Uncle Terry did on Dad's old race car?
Listen, you should have seen that when we were out there racing. But that old Maxima now, it would run now.
Yeah.
I drove that thing back up to second place on a donut.
It was
I had
fast.
a donut on the left rear.
I remember.
And I caught Jerry. I was still laps down to Jerry as the leader, but I caught Jerry on the end, and I didn't have no brakes. And I mean, even if I'd have spun him out, he couldn't have lost the race.
Yeah.
But I said, well, it's one of 2 things: either spin out or use Jerry for a guardrail. So I just run in there and use Jerry for a guardrail. I think the guy in his car he was driving got a little mad, but that's just how it goes. Jerry thought it was funny.
Yeah.
And so did I.
That was a good race.
Jerry, I tell you, is the coolest. Just to sit and talk with Jerry, man, that whole crowd over there, you can go in that old shop over there and you can sit for hours just talking to them.
You know what's wild, and going back to old days, my daddy's first race car was number 98, a baby blue and white Nova. And it was number 98 because of Jerry's dad. And then Jerry had 98, obviously, because that was the family number. And my daddy stepped down to number 2. That way Jerry could have the family number.
Right.
And I was named after Robert Nub Johnson, which is Jerry's dad. And Anthony come from Jerry's brother. So I'm named after that whole crew over there, too. And I love me some Lisa to death. Boy. She's a firecracker, son.
She is, bro.
And it's awesome to see, the little ones out there racing. And every time that we run junior sprints, the Blackwells are there, the Johnsons are there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just old school, still living it, man.
Speaking of your dad, right, one of my best and funniest racing stories ever, and he'll remember this right here, because all them boys used to go at it. They were buddies off the racetrack, but they would go at it at them go-kart tracks. So Bert and Jerry Walker was running medium stock at Rockfish, the old Rockfish, the real B&S Speedway. And your dad was out front, and him and Jerry got into each other, and your dad turned over. Well, then the dude that was in third hit your dad when he hit the track because he come out the cart. And everybody was running out there. Your dad's old tough as nails. And everybody's out there thinking Bert's hurt and everything else. The guy from the ambulance comes out there and he says, you okay? You okay? He says, no, don't get up. And your daddy's trying to get up. And he's like, no, don't get up. He said, do you know where you at? He said, yeah. He said, well, what's your name? He said, Bert. But now they used to battle, man. Pinky Vinson, Jerry Walker, my daddy, Aubrey, ML Core, Scott Autry, Jeffrey Tyndall, every one of them.
We were sitting on the line.
Yeah, raced against each other.
And old boy said, "Oh, how in the world do you get that race car to take off like it does? I don't know what it is about White's Carson, but when you throw the green flag, that joker's coming."
Yeah.
I said, "You ever heard of ML?" I was messing with him. I said, "You ever heard of ML Core? Did you ever hear about having that nitrous in his jacket?"
It was funny. I mean, hearing Dad and Bert when they get together, and you know, Bell Senior and all them, talking about the good old days, like the go karts. Man, they used to have.
That shit was crazy.
Yeah,
Like they rented the parking lot. So Bordeaux used to be a Roses in Bordeaux.
Yeah.
Now it's K&W Cafeteria. They rented that parking lot and had a road race out there. They made them a road track out there in the parking lot
Never
of
knew
Bordeaux.
you know, Dad and Terry were telling me that in Stedman they used to have a go kart race. It was like somewhere in downtown Stedman, like on the road or something.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
And then
How come nobody does any of that anymore?
well, and that's what I'm saying. It's like it's
I
no
never heard of
fun
that.
no more.
Well, it probably with all the snowflakes, they're probably worried that somebody's going to get their ass sued or something like that. You know, the town will
But
get
then
sued.
Clinton, we used to race in Clinton. You know, and like I said, it was a thing, man. Oh yeah, Scott Autry drove. In fact, Tojo. Speaking of the crazy stuff, so Tojo had a 70 Chevelle, I think it was. I can't even remember. It was 70, 71, 72, something like that Chevelle. And Aubrey built that car right there, and him and Tojo was in there arguing at Daddy's garage. We had the garage over there in East Fayetteville, and Tojo said, "I'll put Scott in my car." And Aubrey said, "Boy, your car's you drive it on the road." He goes outside with a damn hammer and busts the windows out of it, and tells Daddy to weld a roll cage in it. And that Saturday, Scott Autry was on the outside pole, and Aubrey was on the pole.
Dang.
For the pure stock, which that was pure stock back then. They took off 1 and 2, and old Dark Vader give up over there on, I think the oil pump went out on or something out there. But yeah, that is no lie. Tojo did give his car up that he drove every day to prove a point at the racetrack.
Yeah.
It's just something about. I can remember, of course, I was on the concrete bleachers playing with my Matchbox cars. Me and Earl Johnson's daughter, Jennifer, because we were about the same age. Roy was down there in the pits, I think, with him and stuff. That's right. But they used to have for lights. They didn't have like stoplights or whatever. They had a string of lights that went across the track, and it was light bulbs.
Light
it was colored bulbs,
60-watt bulbs.
And there wasn't no wall in the middle of the track. Well, kind of like there is, but there was nothing. When you went to go pull off the track, you just pulled off wherever the hell you wanted to.
Yeah,
just pulled down
Do
in.
any of y'all remember John Fisher's son?
Yeah, Johnny.
Oh
yeah,
So me and Johnny won more foot races at that racetrack than probably anybody.
Well,
on
I
the
guarantee you, Marion's probably got it wrote down because there's a Hall of Fame. Marion's got it.
I'm just telling you.
Oh yeah.
Johnny would win his age group, and I would win mine.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
back then it was just completely different.
We pulled into Dublin one night in Ma Parker's car, and Johnny was right. It was me, Ma Parker, Mary Jo, and my mama and Johnny all up it packed inside this car. Well, Johnny didn't have no money, so we stuffed Johnny in the back of the car, in the boot of the car, right? And went across the racetrack with Johnny in the back
So he could
of
run
the
like
car,
a deer.
son. And just when she popped the trunk of that thing, we pulled over around the backside of Mike Parker's trailer, and Johnny had to unfold to get out of that thing. 'Cause you know how he was tall and lanky as there ever was anything. Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to give y'all one that y'all really, I guarantee you y'all don't remember. Do y'all remember when they had the mini stock Enduros?
I don't think I do.
So I had a Volkswagen Rabbit that my daddy would let me and Chad just raise hell in and drive through the woods and drive everything else. I'm talking about galvanized fence post. Like I think we all would die of poisoning because it was green when we were welding it, green smoke coming off of it. We welded a roll cage in it, and Scott Autry went out there and won the mini stock enduro race in that Rabbit.
Dang.
And I'm going to let y'all guess what the number was on that thing.
I have no idea.
OU812. and What was the announcer's name way back then? Julius.
Oh yeah, because it was in the program.
Julius.
I don't know. I can't remember, but I remember Julius. I remember the
Yeah.
first name. I don't remember him, but I mean.
Now he'd get
reading
that
it,
sauce up there, and he'd be hollering because that little rabbit was front wheel drive. So Scott would go in the corner. He'd go in the corner in first. Go in the corner in third and come out in first because he could hold it to the floor. And he'd holler on that microphone. He'd be like, "Look at Scott Alter driving that rabbit," and then calling that number out. Of course, all of us know what that means now, but back then we didn't know what it meant. But yeah, we've had a ball out there at that racetrack, man, and just a lot of years.
And for,
Imagine how many years that we've spent out there amongst all of us, not counting the old heads.
let me show
Just
y'all
us.
exactly what Bell looked like back then. If you see this guy all the way to the left right there, that's
Told
Bell
you.
Jr. right there.
That's the original Chubbies right there, son.
Now
Hey.
that looks just
And then-
like your son.
Hey, hold on.
Now, and if you look all the way
So
over,
we're gonna name all these people out right here. This is Jerry Walker down here on the end.
talking you.
This is Jerry Walker down here on the end.
In the white
Definitely-
shirt.
Definitely a legend in go-karts around this area. This was his girlfriend at the time, Debbie. This was Chad Rad.
Muscles.
This
You
was,
were doing it, Dad.
this was RB.
Barefooted. Holmes.
This was Mark Locklear. That was my mama, Racing Granny. That was Tojo, Aubrey, Miss Fevel Speedway, me, and my daddy.
Yeah.
Is in the background is your dad. I think where somebody, and if you look under the front tire, the radiator had busted and the water running out of there.
Daddy was back there paying for the protest
Yeah.
because they protested our tires.
Yeah.
Dang. Check out the rims on it.
And they lost.
Yeah.
And they lost.
And speaking of, we've had another one of the legends join in. Oh, Chad did make it. We didn't think he was going to make it tonight, but we got him in here now.
We got
look a
an
lot
Eagle
better than I
feather,
do.
you know. Indian crowd right here. Good. We got one graduating.
Oh yeah. But
One more.
so what was some racing that we got coming up here? I think let's see. Fayetteville doesn't have anything this weekend, or the following weekend, but on the 21st is when they'll be back at Fayetteville for racing, and then I think they're off again until June. Lakeview, I have with baseball going on, I haven't been able to check anything, but if anybody out there knows when Lakeview's running, go ahead and post it on the comment section for us.
Rockfish is back in action on the 14th.
Rockfish back in action on the 14th.
Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe. We got to
We're
go
gonna
out
get
there.
you out there, Chad.
Something.
We
Damn.
love rockfish.
Yep.
Our stuff's
That's
sitting
a-
there collecting dust. Hell, if I can make a couple laps, we might be able to do something.
He told me that track, he said, you ain't even going to recognize it when you come back out this time.
Well,
He said
hey, a
it's
lot of
great.
people don't realize, man, the money that he spent out there in the off season.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I know. I mean, I done the flag stand or the, I guess, tower would what
Yeah.
you would say, not the flag stand, because the flag stand is actually
Yeah.
separate from it now. But the tower out there for him, man, and he has
Put a lot
made that
into it.
thing nice.
Yeah.
I mean, it is nice.
I wish we could get more folks out there, man. We went and set up in the Walmart parking lot, and you wouldn't right there on Gillis Hill Road. We were at that Walmart, and people coming by, where do you race that at? And I'm like,
got no
2
idea.
miles up the street. And they're like, for real?
Well,
I live in the neighborhood, right? And I hear motorcycles. I'm like, no, that's
not
race
motorcycle
cars.
cars,
You know?
And I've told AJ a couple of times since we started this, since me, him, and Chad started this, that we need to get Bill on here and help him promote that thing because he's a fine guy, man.
Very
He's a
good.
fine
Yeah,
fella.
and that's an open invitation. So Bill, I'm sure Bill is probably watching. I know you'll talk to him, but
Yeah.
let him know. Anytime he's ready, he's welcome. We got an
probably
open
the
seat
most
for him.
reasonable
Heck
as far
yeah.
as price
Yeah.
Oh
racetrack to go in the
$20 to get
country.
in. No
In the
matter.
country.
Yeah, no matter where you want to go, $20 you get in. Kids'
Yeah.
tickets are like $5.
And most of the time they don't pay for them because me and you'll donate them.
Yeah.
And
Hey, and the other good thing, you're gonna be out of there by like 9:30.
Yes, sir. We are at Taco Bell
Guaranteed.
before they even turned the late night light on that jewel, baby.
Hey, I like that now.
And 5 classes most of the time.
Yeah.
You're in there, and the thing about, and people say this about junior sprints, God, you boys are in the chute ready to go. It's because we rockfish born, son. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Lakeview, the 14th
So-
of Mid-East race.
All right, Lakeview. Thanks, Matt.
So AJ, since you changed your paint scheme, you gonna change mine too? That means you got plenty of material.
I hadn't even ordered the stuff for mine yet,
Good.
but,
You ordered
but
nothing
yeah.
to do
Speaking of, so if y'all follow, obviously, if you're watching on AJ Bones Motorsports, I put out. Really, Brett Clary designed that wrap. It's the same one that's on the car right now. I just kind of changed a couple things up on it just to make a little difference. So y'all go and vote. I know Dad likes the white. A
He
couple
does.
people said they like the all white. I kind of like the black.
Yeah, the black
know.
is where it's at.
I don't know, but Dad says he can't see it when it's out on the racetrack. So I don't know. Y'all go vote. Whichever one y'all vote, that's the one I'm gonna print. But I'm also gonna use. I don't even think I have it here. I had some the vinyl, but the purple was gonna be like a sparkly holographic purple.
Oh, yeah, that'd be
that I'm gonna use on that. And I was thinking about switching from rocket red to actually fluorescent orange
Yeah, that'd be
instead
a
of.
really
Yeah, now we're talking.
Yeah.
Make sure you order
good-
enough.
Hey, Rooster, too, not to get off the subject of the racetracks, but also I wanted to bring up something about the good old days of dirt. You had a car show over there, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Larry Long Memorial.
Yeah,
Big
for
shout
the
out.
kids more than anything. I know y'all judged all the cars,
Yeah.
but I know it was for the kids more of anything. And I know several of the kids won trophies and stuff, real cool trophies. I think you said that Donovan Jackson and somebody
Yeah.
made some of them.
Jax built one. Nick White built one. Corey Enterprise built one. And then Nick White built the top 3 medallions that were made out of sprockets and
Yes.
stuff like that. And I had to send a shout out to Kip, man, with Chatley Boat Marine. Jaden Boland Motorsports sponsored that. Also, you and Sonya, man, thank you guys for what y'all did. You know, and I got to say something about Wyatt because, he come up and he said, "How do I win that trophy?" I said, well, you're going to have to work for it because this is fans' choice. I said, you're going to have to meet God halfway is what you're going to have to do. If you want it bad enough, you're going to have to go out there and
Well,
get
I
it.
can tell you what he did. He met me halfway before I even got to the gate. He said, "Y'all want to vote for me?" I said, "Absolutely." So,
That's what my mom said. My mom said, she said, son, she said, he's a little politician. She said, he has been around here gathering votes
Yeah.
since he sat here.
He had 100 votes. He had 99.
Yes.
And I walked over there and I asked Vanessa, I said, hey, we're going to be doing the awards here shortly, so go ahead and start tallying. And Wyatt said, don't you tally nothing until Bell gets here
he
because
goes,
Bell going to be my 100th.
Yeah, he did. He did.
And y'all made it available, or we gave out T-shirts to all the kids that were
yeah.
there. Wyatt sold T-shirts and stuff. So man, thank you guys, and it was amazing. It was a great time. I'm
It
telling
was.
you.
I tell you, it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I had church and some errands to run for the old lady, but I did make it there, and I was just so surprised when I got there at the amount of people that were underneath that shelter. And it was awesome because they brought their lawn chairs, and they were just people up there telling stories. I kind of sat in the back. for a while.
Aaron Sweat come walking by, and I said, man, what all they got up there for food? He said, everything. There was so much food up there. I'm talking about, it was amazing, man. It was. And I got to get out of it. I got old Nightmare down there working in the concession stand at the ballpark. I said, you want to play this summer, you're going to have to work. So, he down there slinging hot dogs right now.
Well, man, we appreciate you coming in and
dude.
talk. I know we're kind of winging this thing tonight because we're getting back into the groove. But now you guys are going to come back with Shine Runners Racing Radio.
Yes, I got to talk to Swanee, I think, next week.
Okay. All right.
And next Wednesday, and it's kind of, and I apologize to all the Shine Runner crowd out there. We've been this week, and me and Swanee were actually supposed to go race this weekend at Triple T Raceway for the chicken wing.
Right.
20. We were gonna go race and eat chicken wings and jump back, hot wings, and jump back in and all that. And but Mom needs help with Fishing to Fight Cancer. So that captain's meeting's this weekend, and that's my mom. And I had to call Daryl. I was like, look, man, I love you guys, but my mama needs my help. That's where I'm going.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
Hey, before you leave us too, man, we was talking about the Blackwells. What about this little Chase, man?
what?
Yeah, he's running
Both
good,
of
man.
them boys.
Yeah. But y'all both of them run great. But this kid's out there with grown men.
Yes.
Oh shit.
He's out there
doing
with
it.
grown men and doing it.
He qualified the other day and finished third, I think.
Finished
it was.
third. But if you watched him from the first night he was out there,
Oh, yeah.
Chris was standing beside me. He's like, he's got to quit backing out the gas. And then the following week he got faster. Then the next week he got faster. And the other night, I mean, he looked like a little race car driver.
I declare
I
he
mean,
did.
he was doing it.
And you know, I'm gonna tell you about that class too, and I can say that because I run that. There's no slouches in that class. You know,
Absolutely
that's a
not.
very
There's
tough
a lot of
class
money.
to run
Absolutely
good.
a lot of money.
And for him, for the experience
I
that
think
he
he's
has,
13.
yeah, to be running like he's
Yeah.
running,
Yeah.
I mean, he's doing it.
He's
so.
gonna be something to deal
Oh,
with
yeah.
in a couple years in this area. I can promise you that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because them boys are gonna make sure he's got good stuff,
Yeah.
and he's definitely good experience right now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm proud of them youngins, man. Like I said, I've always been a Blackwell fan, even back to the day of the number 6 Joe Cox Camara.
Oh, yeah.
And back in Purestock, watching Timmy and
I told Zach, I said, boy, what the hell was you doing out there trying to act like me and your Uncle Steve done at the racetrack the other night? He said, man, don't even bring that up.
yeah, that was tough, man. But,
Replays, man, tells everything.
Well, he did. He told me, he said, I looked back at the replay. He said, I know what I thought in the car.
yeah,
He said, but when I look back at, and I told him, I said, yeah, I said, you drove him down left a little bit, and I mean, nowhere to go for either one of you.
yeah.
I mean, it's unfortunate incidents because they're friends,
yeah.
you know, but it's all good now. They've talked and everything's good. And like I said, I talked to Chris the next day, and that's what Chris said. You know, the next day when you wake up, you get out there and you think you seen one thing. Hell, Chad thought Jaden. Chad thought
same
that
episode this week.
because Jaden was the first car that he seen after he had the flat tire. He thought that it was Jaden that got into it, and it was him and Anthony that got into each other. And like I said, it won't nothing. Nobody was mad or anything. It was just a racing deal.
Yeah.
I mean, there was 5 of them
Full
going in there
wide.
for one spot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, I know you got to get over there and get your younger man, but he'll be up there. He's probably up there in the concession stand cooking him some hot dogs
He
now.
probably is. That Jacker dude, he trips me out.
He's up there
I
with
love
Jay
it.
Barr.
I want to
Oh, yeah.
hear the story before I leave here when White come down to the pits and old girl asked him,
Oh, that was awesome. So White comes down there, and he's talking to me at the pits, and he said, I told Tracy, I said, you remember when White car coming, he brought his car in, and he's looked at his daddy, and his daddy was trying to talk to him, and he got mad and slammed his helmet and run up there and got in the truck. And I told Rooster, I said, man, I'm going to go talk to him. And I went up there and I said, hey, man, you can't act like that. I said, that's your daddy, man. That's your biggest fan.
Right.
He said, well, Mr. Bell, that thing's junk. And I said, what do you mean it's junk? He said, every time I turn the wheel, he said, I'm turning the wheel and the front tires ain't turning. And so I went out there and told Rooster, I said, Rooster, he says that when he turns the wheel, the front tires ain't turning. So we go up there and grab the steering, put the steering wheel on it, turn the wheels, and the front tires ain't turning.
yeah,
So he calls Alan Coy over there and says, what can we do about it? Alan said, don't worry about it, we'll weld it up. So Alan welded it up right there at the racetrack. So I went back up there and I said, okay, buddy, you right. I said, but look, you know, you owe your daddy an apology now. I said, you know that's your biggest fan. He's going to try
Right.
to put you out front. I said, but who cares about starting in the front? The fun thing's coming from the back and
Yeah.
winning the race. I said, you go out there and win that race, I'm going to give you $300. He said, okay. So he went out there, won the race, and I give him his $300. Well, when he come to the pits the other night, there was Tracy's cousin, Jenny, was down there in the pits. And she was like, who is this little guy right here? He's funny as crap. And I said, Wyatt, come here. And I said, tell Miss Jenny who you are. He said, Miss Jenny, my name's Wyatt Kitchen. I'm the North Carolina Nightmare. Right?
Hell yeah.
And so then I told him, I said, tell Miss Jenny about when I got on you at the race track. Immediately, he goes into telling her the whole thing and tells her, yeah, I come from the back and won the race, and Mr. Bell had to give me $300. She said, well, I bet you got a lot of girls, don't you? He said, nope. And she said, well, come here, darling. Da, da, da. He jumped back and done his little squat and his little swing. He said, April Fools.
kids tour.
Where's he get all this stuff?
I don't know where.
Saying.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you guys. Thank you for allowing me to come on tonight.
Yeah, man.
I
Absolutely.
enjoy this stuff.
I have to do it again.
Yeah, like I said, we'll try to fire back.
Bring some beer, man. Damn.
Yeah, I got.
They don't drink no more. It kind of sucks around.
I got. I got a whole cooler full.
So, hey, look, Drewster, you got your wish. Tojo just said, what's next with the shock collar? I say me and Jimmy Dean.
Who the hell's gonna get Jimmy Dean on a weeknight?
Yeah, that's another thing. How we going to get him down here, Tojo? And who in the hell's going to get him back home? Because I know y'all sure been drunk.
Aunt Shirley.
Yeah, I love it. But thank you guys so much, man. We appreciate it.
Yeah,
Get
man.
back on top of things and trying to keep that championship up. He's in the championship spot right now, back in the points lead, and we got to fly to New Mexico on the 28th, so we're going to miss a race, but it'll be what it is. Junior Sprints are racing this weekend down at Triple T Raceway, along with the Backyard Series. So if you're looking for go-kart racing, go check them boys out at Triple T. They got a lot of cool stuff going on down there.
Hell yeah, absolutely.
Keystone, that's right, T-Late. We're probably going to drink some Keystones this weekend.
There you go.
I'm ready, no doubt. We'll see you guys. Thank you.
Tell the Nightmare we said what's up.
I'll do it.
It's always good having Rooster on here, man. But, getting back to what you were saying, how Chad thought that maybe Jaden got into him and Daniel and Zach. Well, I got to fess up on something too. On that heat race this past weekend that I stepped on my pecker on, and I said that I thought that the boy got into me. I went back and watched the video. And by the way, for all you guys out there, go to FayettevilleMotorspeedway.tv, and you can watch a race on there live as it's going on, or you can also get what I've got, which is like the replay thing. I think it's like $14 a month, but you can go back on there and watch the race like the next day, or usually by the time I get home that night, the replay's up, so I can go back and watch my race and stuff. Never touched me in a heat race. So what it was, the lift arm on the rear end broke, and that's what really cost us the way we were running the whole time. So I got old Blaze here.
Blaze, what'd you get at practice, boy?
Be my co-host.
Wait, I said, what'd you get at practice? What you got in your back pocket right there?
$1.
What'd you get paid for?
I borrow some money.
You know that's against the NCAA rules, right?
Blaze had baseball practice tonight. He was supposed to get the out to get the $1. He didn't get the out, but the coach gave him $1 anyway.
So you done broke NCAA rules. Now you ain't gonna be able to go to college.
I ain't gonna ask who your coach is. I got a good idea.
Whoever wants $1 owes me $200.
That'd be your
papa.
Oh.
Yeah, that's your papa.
Yeah, he.
So, but anyway, yeah. So that was my fault on the heat race.
Hey.
I messed that up. But I think we're gonna try to get a hold of. Is it the
Ben from Horsepower Hustle?
From Horsepower Hustle? Okay, let me go ahead and get that.
Hey, before y'all get into that, what about old?
Let me switch you over to.
Willie's had surgery.
Yeah,
I don't know if y'all mentioned that.
We did mention it. We mentioned that at the beginning of the show. I can tell him you're getting called.
Let's see if we can get that phone number here, and I'm gonna get this dialed up. What's the number, Bill?
It is. I don't want to say it on the air. Hold on. I'll just let you get it right here.
All right, let's see. 804.
He might get some prank calls.
Yeah.
Hell, maybe I should put it on the air and let him get some prank calls. That'd be pretty cool.
All right, should be right. There we go. Can you hear him?
Oh yeah.
All right, cool.
Hello.
What's up, Ben?
What's up? What's up? How you doing?
Good, man. Hey, we got Ben on the line here from Horsepower Hustle. Y'all got an upcoming event soon. I think it's the 25th?
So it's we're at Gainesville Raceway Memorial Day weekend. 27th, 28th, that Friday, Saturday. But we do got that private testing on the 26th.
Yeah, y'all got something going on special with the private testing too, right?
That's correct, my man. That's correct. So pretty much what we're doing, if you lock in for any of the shootouts, then you will be offered a free private testing on that Thursday. And that's a great opportunity to come out there, get your bike right, get a feel for the track, and it's going to be prepped by Mass Traction. You know how he is, man. It's Brandon's best in the business. Get a grip. Definitely for sure. I saw more shoes on the track than anything. And that's a good thing. But yeah, that's what we're doing for people that lock in early, and that's for any of the classes.
Yeah, and if you want to, let's go back. We'll go back from the start of that, man. The Galat race, man. Y'all had a real good turnout, and I mean, a lot of people got to do a lot of racing, man. And I tell people all the time that when y'all started this deal, y'all's whole deal was to do away with the ET stuff at grudge events and to have an all grudge shootout and lock in grudge races so guys could get to make passes on their bikes.
And that's correct, man. Yeah, for sure. We wanted to just kind of bring little bit of new attitude, you know, to the Race World Series and to the racing world, and that's what we did. You know, we got a lot of great classes. You know, go to horsepowerhustle.com, and they're up there. Great thing is too, like a lot of our rules, you know, it's for racers by racers. You can have a great bike, you know, for Pro Boost, main rules, turbo only, you know, Pro Nitrous only. You know, it kind of just breaks it down, just simplify it just like that, so you can come out and race. And you know, we're grudging from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. Come out, call somebody out, go crazy, and then, you know, after 4 o'clock, we're prioritizing those shootouts, and we're getting into it, you know, and it's a great platform where the bikes truly do the talking. You know, if you got a great bike, you want to come out there, make some money, have some great passes on a great track, shoot, come to a Horsepower Hustle event, man. You know, we're trying to check all the boxes off so you don't have to, and, you know, we can just provide that space and arena for, you know, the professional grudge racers or anybody that's also looking to get into the sport. You know, it's just a great community-based atmosphere that we're just trying to bring to the racing world.
Yeah, and I'll use me personally in this right here because, you know, I built the 63 bike, the Shadow, and
yeah, man.
and at any other time, I mean, I would have to rent racetracks and everything else and get Cecil out of the shop to a private test just to get to make passes, enough passes to get numbers on the bike. And with y'all's events, man, it makes it where you can race, you can test, and you can run in shootouts.
Exactly.
And get paid during all of it.
You can call people out too, man. That's always the fun part. Call some people out, get up there. Because if you call somebody out and you're in that lane, you're like, hey, got a grudge race. I called him out. We're doing this. One, we'll hype that race up. And if we know about it before games, I'll promote it for you. Get real big bets and everything going for it for sure. But, you know, we just offer that a space for so much to happen. And just, you know, when people utilize the platform, you know, the experience, I know it definitely is a great experience from all the feedback I've gotten. You know, we're very humbled that people are really liking the series and liking what we're trying to do. And we're just going to keep it going, man.
I think it's awesome, man, because like I told y'all, man, I went down to, and not knocking nobody's event by no means, and I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, when we were in Orlando, you know, I bought tech cards to test 2 days in a row. I spent $750 and made 4 passes, set in line for 4 hours. You know what I mean? And y'all guys, man, y'all bring them motorcycles through there so fast. It's like you can hot lap your motorcycle if you want to, before the actual shootout start and in between rounds of the shootout. I mean, you can straight up hot lap your motorcycle.
We appreciate that, man, for sure. You know, and that's we have a great staff. You know, Horsepower, you know, Cecil and Leah definitely took the time to choose a very great staff. So, you know, we try and have everything planned to a T, you know, from how the stage lanes are being run to, you know, the tree to being in coordination with the tracks themselves and Brandon all simultaneously. So, you know, just definitely shout out to our staff for that, you know, and Austin holds it down in those lanes for sure.
No, absolutely. Y'all do a good job. And the thing is after the first event, y'all learned who's with what bike. So y'all don't even have to ask the question now. Y'all know when a bike pulls up, y'all know exactly who's supposed to be with that bike.
Oh, yeah, man. Oh, yeah. You know, and that's the kind of the different world of it, too, you know, because you come from our side, you know, it's just kind of, you know, me even being new and kind of to the industry itself, you know, but I did come from a athletic background, you know, even competed in college sports myself. So, you know, you kind of treat it, you know, once you're in the sport, there's just that, I don't know, just that feeling you can't get away from. You know, you're just programmed different. And, kind of just was able to just jump right in and just the intensity, you know, and just the excitement that you feel at the event and being right in that lane, and, you know, smoking the rubber and the sound, you know, you just get into it. So, and me being also the media, you know, I'm doing photography. So I was able to also get a lot of great photos to not only just put out for the athletes to have, you know, for some Facebook photos, or, you know, to use and things of that nature, but just to, you know, also for myself to make that catalog. So I go back to that, learn this, that, and the third, you know, who was who, like you said, and just try and apply that to every event, man.
Well, I think it's going to get better with each event, because I know a lot of people were down, still wasn't ready at the beginning of the year, and I think more people are getting ready now. And and you know, the way that y'all went completely about this thing is like y'all made sure that y'all didn't step on no other events' toes. Y'all made sure. Y'all made sure.
And that's what it's about.
Yeah, that you know, that in your promotion, that it was outside of the time frame and the realms of the other events.
Of course, and we strategically chose those dates, you know, even before all of this even, got into even creating pages and anything. We sat back and, Cecil and Leah definitely strategically chose dates to make sure it didn't interfere with nobody's races. Even like Gainesville, Gainesville is a couple weeks before even some other big races. So it's definitely a great place, come have great racing and great grudge opportunities and even get that bike right and even have a little bit extra time, a couple weeks to get ready for another big race. So it's kind of cool how it works out, and hopefully racers, jump into it, dive in and really just take advantage of the platform. Because even in Gainesville, we're bringing roll racing to Gainesville, which is, definitely awesome. It's definitely unique. So hopefully all the, Florida crowd and everything as well, taps in with us because, roll racing huge with roll racing. And we're also doing a bagger show sponsored by Bagger Life, with a partnership with Grudge Life. So trying to bring a lot of things to just that big Memorial Day weekend in Gainesville. So a lot of opportunity for just racers as a community.
Well, and not to mention, you're at one of the best tracks in the country.
I'm telling you, man. Yeah, man. Gainesville, you go on Google, that thing looks magical. That big tower, the beautiful NHRA style. Come on, man. It's just horsepower hustle times Gainesville Raceway and how the track is, man, with mass traction.
Oh, yeah. Listen, Brandon's the man when it comes to track prep.
Man, for sure.
And the thing is, man, while y'all are in the lanes and you're asking people, hey, what can we do to make this better and everything else, he's over there like he'll call me to the side immediately because I know Brandon from the cars,
Mm-hmm.
He'll be like, man, what do you think? I'm like, man, you got the track on kill, you're fine. I mean, how many times?
He's just so knowledgeable, man. He's so knowledgeable. And he really cares about this stuff too. His mind, he's super intuitive and super smart. He can tell you how the weather is going to attract this and how the sunlight coming from here is going to mess this up or it's going to make it better. And he just knows. He's got the knowledge, got the know-how, and coming from that car world and doing everything that he's done, and kind of coming into this grudge world with us. It's really awesome, man. It's great partnership with him. We have him at every single event too. So when you come to one, and you've been to Galata and South Carolina,
yeah.
You kind of know what to expect for the whole series, and it kind of hopefully give some of the racers, some comfort and things that, just that track's going to be right no matter when you step on it.
Well,
that's definitely shout out to Brandon.
I think a lot of the guys that hadn't made their way there yet, when they do, they'll be hooked.
Oh, yeah.
Because
it's all still new, man. We're still in the first. This is our third event. Event of the series. We got 6, and we got 3 more in the fall, and they're all at great tracks. We're just going to keep it going.
Well, the thing is, y'all stepped out there and done something that everybody's been asking for years, and the thing is us as racers, we need to support that. We need to come out there and show up and be there and let these bikes race for some big bags.
Hey, and the best thing we can do is just keep trying to enhance our platform and just take each race as a learning experience and just make the next one even better. So as long as the racers are out there, we're going to be out there. We're just going to hopefully we're going to keep supporting racers. So like you said, we just hope the race community keeps supporting us, and very humble for all the participation we've had this far, and definitely looking just to keep growing it and just just giving back to the community. That's definitely kept all of this going for not only the series but also for the shop.
Well, too. I'm excited about Gainesville because you're going to get the video of that Shadow make that full pass through that quarter of a mile.
Yeah, hey, man, I got you, man. I got you. I'll be somewhere flying around, either right next to the bike or somewhere else. But, and that's also a shout out to the media guys, because all the coverage, like you're talking about the videos and, Grudge Life and Five Friends, One Family with the drone coverage and even the GoPros, a lot of that has definitely, helped expose, the series and even just the Grudge world to people online that may not have been used to it. Some of the reels, some of the things like that are getting a lot of attention. I'm just really happy for it because it's just going to continue to shine a light. But that Shadow bike, man,
oh yeah,
Poppy is crazy on that thing, man. Every time I see him, he just yells at me, and he's just so happy. He's a great guy. David Fine is awesome dude. And I'm excited for you, man. I can't wait to see that bike in action.
He is so excited about that motorcycle, man. In fact, I have to tell him, listen, stop calling me at like 6:30 in the morning because he never sleeps. And he'll call me in the morning. You talk to Cecil. What Cecil say about Shadow? I'm like, David, Cecil will be moving like at 10, and But yeah, no, absolutely. He's definitely the guy when it comes to those short bikes, man. I mean, he can ride anything, but I'm saying
Oh,
in
yeah,
those
his-
short bikes, man, he's vicious. I mean, 118
Oh, yeah.
pounds and throws them things around like they don't weigh nothing.
Man, it's crazy. Just as an athlete too, just as an athlete, yeah, like you said, just watching what David does. Every time I get on Instagram, every time even on whatever page I'm on, every time I see something, he's out there at a racetrack, he's out there around the community. He really does live this life. He's
No,
really
he does.
That's what it takes.
it's what he goes to sleep thinking about, wakes
Yes.
up thinking about, brushes his teeth thinking about, and it's really awesome just to see that that
Like-
spirit for the sport still alive.
When I put that deal together, I called Cecil and I said, "Hey, man, a lot of these guys out of other shops are talking trash. They about the motorbikes, the 63-inch bikes. How fast can we build one?" And he was like, "How fast do you want to build one?" And I was
Hell
like,
yeah.
I was like, "Well, as fast as possible." I mean, that bike was probably built faster than any 63 in the country. I mean, he built that bike in basically a month and a half, 2 months. And
Shout out to Cecil and the HTP staff, man.
yeah,
Go crazy in that back room.
and I'll be honest with you. I mean, we got I think 14 passes on it, and this definitely exceeded my expectations that early. I mean, I already knew that he was going to make it what I asked for. I mean, I told him I want the baddest 63 on the planet, and I already knew that he would do it, but I thought it would take time. And
Did you already have the paint job picked out before you built the bike, or did you do that going along with?
No, so I come out of the car world with Stevie Jackson, Robbie Lowry, Phil Schuler, Jack Barbie, and the Shadow was actually a race car that
Okay.
the most notorious grudge race car
Baddest, for sure.
ever. And so I called them guys up and I said, "Listen, because those guys has got a lot of merch with the Shadow on it, the car itself." And I called them up and I said, "Look, man, I want to build a bike, man," and they sold it. So that car's changed hands now, and I said, "Man, I just want to build a bike in remembrance of the Shadow." Because that's what I asked Cecil for. I asked Cecil for the baddest 63 on the planet. And the Shadow was definitely the baddest grudge car on the planet.
I like that, man. I like that. That's an awesome connection. And that bike is crazy, man. That's when you see that thing rolling up and you see David get ready to go and you hear that thing on the line. And when that light goes green, that thing, you looking at it, gone.
Oh, yeah.
You definitely got a beautiful machine on your hands, man.
I appreciate it. And I appreciate all of
too.
y'all for helping out in that situation. But
man.
Ben, we just wanted to bring you on, man, and give you a chance to let people know about what was going on with the Gainesville race. And
man, I definitely appreciate that. Thank you very much.
So I think you got it planned for a summer break.
Yep, that is correct.
And then
I got you. Yes, what we're doing, we got Gainesville Memorial Day weekend. So the 27th through the 28th with that lock-in. If you do lock in, you get the free private testing on Thursday the 26th. And after Gainesville, we do have the summer off, like you said. And we're looking to come back at Fayetteville Motor Speedway, September 9th. It's going to be a great time. And then we got VMP up here in Virginia, hometown.
Tommy
So we're
Franklin,
going to
another
VMP
awesome
in
racetrack.
October. You said what's up?
I said Tommy Franklin, another awesome racetrack.
Oh, yeah. And then we got VMP, October 21st. So that's going to be a great time. And then we go to Darlington for the final. Darlington for the finals, November 11th. So coming, this big, awesome Gainesville Raceway. Got summer off, to go to all these other races, have some fun, get your bike ready for those final three. And, just horsepower hustle, man. We don't know slow, and it's all about that horsepower and that hustle, man.
That's right. And like I said, man, we appreciate you coming on and being part of the show. And like I said, we'll try to bring you on again, man, maybe during the summer break, we'll bring you on sometime and let you sort of recap all the events, and then
Of course. Yeah.
then sort of promote leading into Fayetteville, because I've already told y'all from the very beginning, your biggest spectator crowd is going to be at the Fayetteville race. You're going to have a ton of spectators at Fayetteville because they love bikes, and hopefully we have a great turnout for bikes, man. Like I said, I just want people to support it because it's perfect for what we want.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
I mean, it's perfect. And
we're going to keep doing what we do, and we just really appreciate everybody's support. Our amazing sponsors, and we're just going to keep doing what we do and just hope everybody keeps supporting us. And we just want to thank everyone that has thus far. So, yeah, just tap in with us. You can go to horsepowerhustle.com or Facebook and Instagram, HP Hustle 660. But, just definitely appreciate you guys for the platform to let us promote this, and I hope to be able to come back soon.
All right, man. We appreciate you. Thanks.
Thank you,
All right.
man.
Have a great night, guys.
Later, man.
All right.
Oh man, that's really good. I'm definitely gonna be at that Fayetteville one.
Oh, man, it's
to
gonna be
watch that
something to
because I
see.
know I'm gonna be with the baddest bike there. So
Listen.
Oh, man, not to make me some test hits.
Yeah.
Fat boy back to saddle.
Those races, man, are there's something to see, man. You got a lot of fast stuff at
Yeah.
those races, man. Like people don't even have any clue how fast the stuff is, And like I said, the guy that started this, Leah and Cecil, HTP. I mean, he's got one of the baddest shops in the land.
Yeah.
In my opinion, the baddest shop.
well, I know you wouldn't be going to him if he wasn't. You know what I mean?
And he's just my style. When I called him on the phone, I was just like, look, I wanted the best of everything. I want everything you got. And like I said, it exceeded my expectations out the gate. I mean, like it come out the gate flying.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to see it. I'm gonna definitely get there for that race. Fayetteville.
We might have to freshen that thing up before we go to Fayetteville.
Oh yeah, hometown. You gotta give it everything you got.
Yeah, let the rods hang out the side of it or something.
Well, Chad, you got anything? I know you came in late, but anything we missed?
Glad I showed up.
I'm glad you
Y'all
finally
didn't have
came
no
to
damn
work.
beer.
Yeah, I know. I don't even have no near beers, bud.
We went through the Legend race, and I was telling them we went through all
Yeah,
the
I'm about to
winners.
say.
We went through all the winners of all the races the other day from last week at the Triple Crown, and I was telling them, I was like, that Legend race might have been the best race that I've ever seen.
Man, the last couple weeks has been really, really good. I mean, you got, Ryan, Little Eddie, Jaden, me
Shanosky,
sometimes.
Josh, Tristan.
Yeah, I mean, even the week before we broke, man, that was a great race. I mean, hell, Jaden was throwing in there under me. I'd pass him, come off forward. Then our crap went a little sour, but Little Eddie and Ryan were getting on with it. I mean, you can't ask no better than that, I don't feel like.
And that's what I told them. I said, Little Eddie picked up that win, but he earned it. And he catches a lot of flack sometimes about some things that happen on the racetrack, but he probably drove the best race that I've ever seen him drive Saturday night at Fayetteville Motor Speedway. He was clean.
He's been on kill this whole year, I feel like. And like I said, he's giving and taking. I mean, and that's what it's going to have to be about. If not, we're all going to water them all up.
Right. And, his dad, when he was walking across the track after he won, he walked over there and hugged my neck and said, man, we needed that. And I said, he looks good. He's driving good. I said, the best race I ever seen him drive. And he said, well, he told me that he's going to try to win the championship this year. And he said he knows
on his way.
Well, he knows to win it. He's got to keep it. He's got to keep it in one piece. You don't have to win them all. You just got to be in contention for them.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, Ronnie Long.
Ronnie said that Chad cannot say nothing to him right now. That Ronnie is
he
in the
is
top 5 in points,
right.
Fucking 15th.
and Chad's like in 15th or 16th.
Hey, the car's been up.
Are
I don't
you-
give a damn.
Are you going for a championship this year?
We're gonna race every race we can, but I mean, damn, we got.
'Cause you get-
have to win some.
You get one drop race, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Dave. Because I missed.
He needs about 4 drop races.
I missed. I
He's got the
know
worst luck anybody ever seen.
Win about 4 in a row, we'd be all right.
we. I know we missed a race when we were going to Disney, so that's got. But I think we've moved up. I think we're finally back in the top 5 in point. But Dad's all about wanting to run for the champ, which is fine with me. But I just kind of got.
I don't really.
I got a bad taste in my mouth about championships.
I don't really
But-
care about it.
but
We're trying to win.
I think we're gonna get the old Barry Wright. I think Dad, we've got to talked into. We're gonna have 2 late models now, so we'll have a backup. And they'll both be race ready. And me and Jared and Coy are trying to talk him into letting us go run at Halifax next weekend because they got that 2000 to win. And he was like, y'all just get the Barry Wright ready. Y'all can go race wherever the hell you want. I'm like, hell yeah, because I like traveling, But I love to come and race Fayetteville. But I also like when they're not racing, be able to go other places. Yeah.
Well,
So.
and like with our car, like with me being involved with that motorcycle, so I've missed a few.
Right.
When our car is concerned, and Chad's had to sort of take care about everything with it, with the help of Tracy, Bob, and Boo Boo.
Oh, Willie's
But
been a
now
big help.
I was getting ready to say that right there. You know, Willie come to me for 2 years and was like, "Man, just let me help y'all. Let me set your car up. Let me help y'all." I'm gonna tell you right now, if you come to Fayetteville, and I don't care who you are, if you come to Fayetteville with a Legend car, one that he touches is gonna be up there towards that front.
Right.
It is.
Yeah.
There's no doubt
You
about
know,
it.
I was thinking about this earlier tonight. Fayetteville has really got it going on. I mean, people can say what they want, but you figure they got a great car count in Legends.
Yep.
They got a great car count in the 602 modifieds
and the late models.
and the late models.
And limited late models when they come.
Yeah, the street stocks, I haven't been able because I'm either on the track, so I don't know how they are. But, I mean, you know, you had you had Lakeview and Fayetteville racing the same night this past weekend.
Mm-hmm.
There was, I think there was close to 20 602 modifieds at each track. That says something about for all the people that were saying that crates in it. Well,
Southeast.
you say what you want, but
Much bullshit.
I hate it. But crates are here,
That's right.
and if you don't jump on the bandwagon,
race.
you ain't gonna have nowhere to race. You know.
Well, the thing
So-
of it is I'll be honest with you. What, in my opinion, what crates does is it brings the playing field back down
Right.
a little closer to level.
Yeah, and you know, I was on the phone with Sammy the other day, and he, you know, I was telling him about wanting to go and race, you know, and if we're just sitting at home, you know, we're not learning. He said, well, that's the thing. He said, you know, with crate racing nowadays, everybody's got the best stuff.
Yeah.
Everybody can afford to have
The best stuff.
on a crate late model. So you've got to be out there learning every week because we're going to take it. Jared, I told Jared about he was like, all right, we're down. So we're going to Sammy, you know. We're going to go out there and get the full deal.
The full treatment.
Well, I mean, and that's what it's all about. I mean, it's just like Legend cars. I mean, you top 5 or 6 damn cars can win any night, anywhere.
Yeah.
Well, and I'll be honest with you, a lot of people in all classes are complaining about racing at Fayetteville and doing this. If you want to be honest about it, they scared of that damn competition.
Yeah. Well, Sammy had told me earlier in the year, you know, when he was going to start racing and stuff, that he's like, if you want to run, you got to be running at Fayetteville. And I mean, and now don't get me wrong, I went up and raced for the first time at Friendship. You know, that I like that little track too, man. And matter of fact, I think Dave goes and runs there when Fayetteville's not running. But you know, this whole crate late model thing, I think is good for competition because everybody is so close.
let me
You
ask
got
you
to be
this right here.
perfect.
Where can you take a 13-year-old child
Yeah,
and put him in a limited late model?
yeah,
There's nowhere for him to learn there. Mm-hmm. You got a good chance he's going to get hurt. You put him in that crate
yeah,
where he's got time to think about what he's doing and learn, and all of a sudden, in 4 or 5 races, he's
Yeah.
competitive.
yep.
You know, he may not be up there battling for the win, but I can promise you in a year or two he will be.
Yeah, I keep my eye out for him, you know, and I'm like, because I noticed that how good he ran, especially, like I said, if you go to FayettevilleMotorspeedway.tv and sign up for that little $14 a month, you get all the replays. So I've got them all the way for the whole year, you know, but I watched him and I was like, man, you know what? He's doing good. You're going to have to watch out for him.
And
you
another
know?
thing that hadn't been mentioned tonight is Dave, Wayne, Freddie, the whole staff.
Mm-hmm.
We're just not going to give the people that's actually out there working on the track the credit. I'm saying the whole staff.
Right.
That track is better and better and better every weekend.
Matter of fact, this past weekend, I washed once we were raced, and I got the race car out, washed it and all that, my tires still had the scuff marks in them.
Yeah.
I mean, that track was tacked up
It
this
was.
weekend.
I
It
mean,
didn't get hard. It wasn't bad on
And
tires.
don't get me wrong. I'm a proponent of running the Legends later because I think the cars are so small. When you get them out there first, I think the racetrack's just still too wet.
A little greasy, yeah.
And I think that you have better racing the later you run because they're faster. Mm-hmm. But as a whole, man, nobody can say anything bad about. Well, I mean, everything we've asked Dave for on the show.
Oh, yeah.
He did it.
Whatever you want to do.
Whatever
Yeah.
you do. Hey, we want to give away tickets. So go ahead. That's fine.
Yeah.
Hey, we
Split
want
the
to.
field to me though. That was
That was
big.
genius.
That was
That's
big.
what I told him.
I mean, it put on a hell of a better show.
Yeah.
Well,
I
in
feel
both
like-
classes.
I hate
in the
people
A
got
and the
wrecked
B.
got tore up bad, but I mean that's gonna happen anyway.
Yeah.
Well, in the
Well, that's
A
racing.
feature,
It is.
in the A feature and the B feature. So I'll be honest with you. The B feature run way smoother than the A
did. It
feature.
run cleaner.
They had
Mm-hmm.
a couple in the beginning, the first couple laps, because everybody's out there anxious.
Yeah.
They want to win the race on the first lap. They had a few little mishaps and a couple guys spun out. But after they settled down, man, they were racing their tails off in that B main.
Yeah, and I think even in our race, I think we only had we had 3 cautions
Well, I'll tell you
in
what,
the 602 late
Y'all
model.
did.
one thing
Yeah.
Because I was
people can
begging
say,
for a
though,
caution for you.
Yeah,
One thing people can say, the damn cars are safe. 'Cause Jaden took
Oh.
a damn ride.
Yeah,
King
and that
took a
last
ride.
bo-
little
What's-
kid in 11 took a damn
What's his
bad
name,
ride.
man?
I can't remember.
I cannot
Wayne
remember.
Gray told me his name, and I cannot
That
remember.
kid, that's
He
the
used to
hardest
drive the Gomez car.
That's the hardest hit I've ever
Tristan.
seen.
I haven't seen anybody flip like that. Matter of fact, since
Eric or Lloyd.
Little Eddie.
Yeah.
Little Eddie's was
I
the
heard-
exact
I
same.
heard Lloyd
Yeah.
was bad. That was on the big track too, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was
But
when it was
now,
on the
listen.
big track. Yeah.
That kid, it ripped stuff out the side of the motor.
It sure did.
Yeah.
We were stuck
I mean,
in the
Well,
road.
and you can actually go on like I said on that replay, you can see it.
Hey,
It was
the
crazy.
only thing left on that race car that was any good that I'd have given him $5 for was the right rear.
Right. That's,
I mean, I'm just being honest.
yeah,
with you.
I mean
And
he
I told
sent
him,
it.
I said, man, I said, you sure you don't need to go get checked out? Which now he gave me his word before
Yeah.
he left that he was going to go get checked out because I told him, I said, man, I think you still look
Adrenaline.
delirious. Yeah, your adrenaline's pumping.
Yeah.
You young, and you know everybody's running over here.
When stuff happens like that, your first instinct is just I want to get out. Just get me out of the race car.
Right.
You know, 'cause-
And you know, and I was telling somebody that, you know, they were talking about when Jaden was turned upside down,
Mm-hmm.
and they were telling him just be calm, let's get you out of the car. He's got fuel dumping in his lap.
yeah.
He ain't gonna be calm for nothing. He's getting out of that thing.
Yeah, they want you to stay.
Peyton
in there.
Coleman, thanks Eddie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, Peyton Coleman.
Yep.
Yeah, and speaking of Eddie, I haven't seen a wreck like that since Eddie's at Fayetteville.
And like I said before, man, back to the A feature. Eddie probably drove the best, and I've seen him in go karts, and I've seen him in these legend cars. He probably drove the best race I've ever seen him drive.
Right.
I mean, because they were battling.
Oh, they were getting
I
there
mean,
with it.
they were battling, and when you go swapping lanes and swapping sides, and
Yep.
and one coming from the low side, one coming from the high side, one stuck in the middle. I mean, a lot of things can happen. You got to be on top of your game to survive that.
Yep.
And I mean, he survived it lap after lap after lap.
Yeah,
I mean, it was.
Well, he had a lot of burning inside though, because he felt like he, gave it away the week before though too. Because me and him talked before the race, and me and him both were pissed off about qualifying because we both sucked in qualifying. But hey, he came from 11 and won the race, so that tells you he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
That old man ain't too bad though, turning riches neither. Though.
No, he knows how to do it, doesn't
He
he?
does, and if you outrun him, he may not like it, but it gives him a spark to try to do something to get better.
Yeah.
Right.
And,
Yep.
and he's been around it long enough to know what he needs to do,
Yeah.
and that's a big benefit with Willie helping Chad, because Willie asked Chad, and he's at the racetrack with us.
Yeah.
He asked Chad, hey, what is it that you feel? Because Chad's on a completely different setup than any of his other people. Because
Well,
yeah.
he's the first
Chad
person-
likes a different feel.
I've ever worked
Yeah.
with that when I told him what I wanted, he gave it to me. He was actually,
Yeah.
I guess.
Well,
relaying
there's something.
information.
There's definitely something to
Right.
be said about having a good setup guy or suspension guy or whoever you want. Just like Sammy, I'm on the phone with Sammy from the time I get to the racetrack till
Okay.
right up until I get into the race car of like what's going on with the track, what I need to do, what I'm feeling, and because it's teaching me too. I'm like, hey man, this is what I'm feeling, this is what I'm thinking about doing, and he'll tell me, yeah, that's the right direction you want. But I think he's also kind of learned my style a little bit, so he kind of knows, what to give me. So
Well, that's the same thing happened to us the first night out. It was kind of, to me, it's like the back of the car was dog walking, like had too much rear steering. I was like, I don't like this feel. And the next day we took it over, and he made some changes, and it was a damn rocket ship
yeah.
until I spun somebody out with about 3 to go and they put me to the rear. But
Yeah.
that's what it is. It was fast.
Well, I probably need to get my youngin' home, or,
Oh, yeah,
or
we'll
my
go
old
straight
lady
away.
is gonna have a. She's gonna be pissed off at
gonna
me.
She
be
ain't
all the
messing
chocolate
yet,
in the
AJ. I
damn.
think we're
in the-
safe.
in the
Oh well,
studio.
no! Right before we got here, he had baseball practice, and he wanted to go by the gas station. I was like, "All right." So, well, he sees no gas station that I've been in lately has Big League Chew,
Oh, yeah.
but the down by Dairy Queen had it. I guarantee you, he's chewed the whole damn pack in
No, I
there,
just
and he
got
just.
some from.
But thank you guys so much for watching Fouled Out. I know we kind of winged it tonight. Bill W., yeah, we're definitely going to have you on the show. Want to give a big shout out to Precision Suspension for sponsoring us. You know, thank you, Sammy, for not only what you do for the show, but for what you do at the track. Y'all be sure, you know, if to like Facebook, Precision Suspension, also AJ Bellinger Motorsports. You know, go give Chad's Facebook a like. But we got to get y'all boys like a racing page.
We getting ready to come. In fact, I'm glad Swan is here because me and him's getting ready to talk. But we getting ready to make some Fouled Out T-shirts.
Yeah, we'll get some of those. That way we can give some of them away.
Absolutely, at the racetrack. We're gonna do it where we can.
We need a hat with like a F on it, like this, like
F-
orange
so you
bill
can-
F-
and a
I'm
black.
sorry.
You know,
I'm sorry. I
It
thought
depends
it
on
was,
who we're talking to, what it means.
exactly.
yeah.
So
It can mean fouled out. It can mean
yeah.
yeah.
But we'll get it together. We'll have a guest on next time. Be sure to tune in to Shine Runners Racing Radio. They'll be back on next week. Go support them with everything they're doing for the blood drive. For Marty Webb, you know, and all that stuff. Fishing to Fight Cancer is coming up, I think, this weekend, he said. So they'll have that big tournament. That's always a big way to support the St. Jude's. Other than that, visit ajbellinger.com. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, and we'll see y'all next time. All right.
Later.
Peace.